The Rock returns, but not alone. Sheamus' injury at Survivor Series is not looking good. Gunther gets a missive new contract from the WWE. Triple H made a huge mistake with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. CM Punk's embarrassing botch on Raw. CM Punk is set to dethrone Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns and CM Punk's unseen WarGames footage released. Rikishi returns to teach Solo Sikoa a lesson. Let's dive right in. Sheamus' injury at Survivor Series is not looking good. Braun Breaker successfully defended his Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser at WWE Survivor Series. While the champ retained the title, Sheamus came remarkably close to becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. The Celtic Warrior gave it his all in this highly physical encounter. However, his dream of becoming a Grand Slam champion remains unfulfilled. Unfortunately, there is bad news following Survivor Series. Sheamus reportedly sustained an injury at the Premium Live event. During the latest episode of Raw, Kathy Kelly revealed in a backstage segment with Braun Breaker that Sheamus suffered a cracked rib during the triple threat match. As a result, the former world champion is expected to be out of action for some time. Meanwhile, all signs on Raw indicate that Ludwig Kaiser and Braun Breaker will continue their feud over the Intercontinental Championship in Sheamus' absence. Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser are currently at very different stages in their careers. The Celtic Warrior has accomplished nearly everything in WWE. Meanwhile, Kaiser is an up-and-coming talent striving to make a name for himself and views Sheamus as a roadblock on his journey to the top. A few weeks ago, the Imperium member boldly stated that he intended to end Sheamus' in-ring career. According to Matt Camp, WWE might set the stage for a high-stakes feud between the two stars. He suggested that their mutual pursuit of the Intercontinental Championship could escalate into a career-threatening match, possibly putting Sheamus' future in the company on the line. I think he said it for a reason. I think there is a story to tell with Sheamus trying to get that IC title and Kaiser saying, "Hey, you're in my way of me trying to make a name for myself." But I wonder if those statements by Kaiser are going to lead to something bigger, something with higher stakes. Sheamus' career, IC title shots, or whatever it may be. Banishment from Raw could be anything like that, Matt Camp said. Gunther gets a missive new contract from the WWE. Gunther has been WWE World Heavyweight Champion for exactly 4 months. The Imperium boss continues to dominate the competition while impressing fans and officials. Sources have just leaked major news on Gunther's status and future following Monday's post-Survivor Series Raw, along with praise from higher-ups. The Ring General signed with World Wrestling Entertainment in November 2018 and then debuted in January. WWE's 2024 King of the Ring joined the company with immense fanfare after spending the previous 13 years making his name around the world. Gunther went on to hold the NXT UK Championship for a record 870 days and the Intercontinental Championship for a record 666 days. He dethroned Damian Priest as World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam this past August. Gunther and company officials are currently finalizing a new contract. PW Insider notes that the 37-year-old is in the final stages of the contract process and that he is inking a multi-year deal. One source said the negotiations are wrapping up, or the contract was actually just signed. The Bull from Vienna has had several WWE officials as supporters for quite a while, including Triple H, who remains high on the former Walter. In an update, word now is that the company has been thrilled with Gunther's in-ring work and how he handles media obligations. Gunther is reportedly signing a long-term contract, but the actual length was not disclosed. Backstage sources noted to Fightful Select that as of Monday, the two sides were closing in on the new deal. The sources added that they expect the process to be finalized before the end of this year, unless some unforeseen circumstances pop up. One WWE official declared Gunther to be one of the most professional talents they've ever worked with. The former PWG World Champion has been trusted with more interviews and promo time during his current title reign. World Wrestling Entertainment will return to Long Island, New York on December 14th for Saturday night's main event 37. The 2-hour event will simulcast as it will stream on Peacock at 8 p.m. ET and air on NBC. Triple H made a huge mistake with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This week on Raw, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods betrayed Big E by seemingly kicking him out of the New Day. A WWE veteran explained why this was a mistake. Tommy Dreamer is the latest to comment on the New Day's situation. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have not been on the same page for the past several weeks. They have been bickering during and after their matches, struggled to pick up any wins, and even started wearing different colored attire. The duo of Kofi and Woods reached their breaking point on the November 25th episode of WWE Raw after they lost to Alpha Academy in 1 minute. Both members said some hurtful things to each other after the match. This week on Raw, the New Day celebrated its 10th anniversary, but many people believed it would be the end of the group. Just when it looked like they were about to split up, Big E came out to motivate them. He even offered to be their manager. However, Kofi and Woods made it clear that they wanted nothing to do with him since he hadn't been there for them in the past few years. This segment indicated that the New Day has now turned heel. Speaking on the Busted Open After Dark podcast, Tommy Dreamer said that since New Day has turned heel, they must now win every match. They were Teflon baby faces. A Teflon baby face is so key because they can lose, continue to lose, and continue to help get your next generation of talents to that level, but at any moment, be your tag team champions of the world. But for this route, the heel route, they got to win everything. They got to continue to just go to the top, and they have to be D. They have to be a double quote. Dreamer continued to say that Kofi and Woods have to be on the same page and challenge for the tag team titles held by Judgment Day. And they got to win a lot of matches because now they got to be on the same page and go straight towards those tag team titles. However, those tag team titles are held by heels. So that's an interesting thing right there. For the past several weeks, Xavier Woods has adopted a more grimace persona. He is always frustrated and gets into arguments backstage, while Kofi Kingston remains his joyous self. Woods' actions indicate that he will soon turn heel, and many expected this to happen on the New Day's 10th anniversary. However, both Woods and Kingston turned heel and betrayed Big E, which caught many people off guard. Speaking on his Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Sam Roberts said that he had never seen Kofi turn since imagining him as a villain was hard. "I just never saw Kofi Kingston turning," Roberts stated. "Of all the scenarios possible, I did not see Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston turning on Big E. And I think that is because it is so hard to imagine Kofi Kingston as a villain," he added. "It will be interesting to see whether the New Day will be able to turn their fortunes around after this heel turn." CM Punk's embarrassing botch on Raw. CM Punk had a major both during his appearance on last night's episode of WWE Raw. The Second City Saint kicked off the show after competing alongside the OG Bloodline in the men's WarGames match at Survivor Series. Seth Rollins confronted CM Punk last night on Raw and stated that he should have knocked the 46-year-old out when he returned to the company last year. The two stars then traded strikes before security broke it up. A wrestling fan posted a video of the brawl between Rollins and Punk last night on Raw, revealing that the former AEW World Champion completely missed the target with one of his punches. CM Punk and Seth Rollins were originally planned to battle at WrestleMania 40 earlier this year, but injuries prevented the match from happening. The OG Bloodline asked Rollins numerous times to join their team at Survivor Series, WarGames, but the Visionary refused to team up with Roman Reigns ever again. Paul Heyman returned to SmackDown last month to reveal that Punk would be the final member of Roman Reigns' team at the Premium Live event. The OG Bloodline won the men's WarGames match at the WWE Survivor Series over the weekend, with Reigns pinning Solo Sikoa to earn the victory for his team. Former WWE writer Vince Russo shared his thoughts on the promo between Seth Rollins and CM Punk last night on Raw. Speaking on the latest edition of Sportskeeda's Legion of Raw show, Russo stated that the whole point of the segment was to set up the main event on Raw. Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn to close last night's show. The whole thing with Punk and Rollins is here's what this is. They need a main event for the show. That's where this whole in-ring is coming from. It's coming out of left field. The heat should be between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. If we remember, the Bloodline screwed Rollins, and we thought Rollins was going to be on the side of the babyfaces, but Punk jumped in. So the promo should have been, once again, Glory Hog. After they screwed me, you jumped in like a knight in shining armor. But no, here comes Sami because we need a main event for tonight's show. Seth Rollins was rumored to be continuing his rivalry with Bronson Reed following Survivor Series, WarGames, but the former North American champion suffered an injury at the Premium Live event over the weekend. It will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for Punk and Rollins moving forward. CM Punk is set to dethrone Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship reign might be in jeopardy. WWE might have teased a challenger for his title at Survivor Series, WarGames Premium Live event. No, he isn't Roman Reigns or The Rock, but someone Cody considers a close friend. Cody's next challenger is someone who has an unfulfilled dream of main eventing WrestleMania in his career. You must have guessed it. He's none other than CM Punk. The straight-edge superstar might have already made plans for challenging Cody at the main event of WrestleMania 41 next year. He seemingly dropped subtle hints at the recently concluded Survivor Series WarGames. What did Punk do at Survivor Series? The 46-year-old superstar teamed up with his arch-rival Roman Reigns, but it was after Paul Heyman asked him to, and Punk might have struck the deal of his life with Heyman. After the match, he reminded Heyman about the favor that the 59-year-old owed him now. By the time WrestleMania 41 rolls in, when Cody Rhodes would have possibly ended his feud with Kevin Owens, CM Punk might ask Heyman to betray Roman Reigns, become his manager, and subsequently challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Heyman might relent under pressure, having given his word already, and side with Punk. This would also turn the 46-year-old superstar into a heel. Further, Punk's history tells us that he is as good a heel as a babyface. Punk might finally beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 and win the undisputed WWE Championship. There is a significant probability of Cody dropping the title at WrestleMania 41, since the American Nightmare would have then kept it for nearly 1 year. A title change would infuse new excitement in the current storylines, and Rhodes could then feud with Punk over the summer, before finally winning it back. This would be killing two birds with one stone for Triple H. First, he would get a popular superstar to replace Cody as the WWE Champion. Secondly, it would finally give Punk a main event shot at WrestleMania, something former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon could never give him. Roman Reigns and CM Punk's unseen WarGames footage released. Roman Reigns and CM Punk almost failed to work alongside one another during the WarGames match at Survivor Series 2024. In the aftermath of the OG Bloodline and Punk's victory, WWE has released unseen footage featuring both superstars. During the WarGames match between the new and OG Bloodline and Punk, Reigns prevented Punk from entering the match as the third representative of their team. In a viral moment, the OTC blocked his teammate's path, allowing Sami Zayn to enter the fray. On YouTube, WWE released unseen footage of Roman Reigns and CM Punk locked together in the cage immediately after the Second City Saint was prevented from entering the match. The video also showcases Reigns' reaction, as he was seen nodding and staring down the former WWE champion. Bully Ray predicted Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will cross paths in a match with the Ula Fala on the line. Despite Reigns pinning Sikoa twice in recent months, he has yet to get his hands on the traditional Samoan necklace. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, Henry suggested the idea of a singles match between Reigns and Sikoa. He believes the winner will be crowned the definitive tribal chief. Henry said, "When it comes to Ula Fala, if Roman is going to take it away from Solo, he's going to take it away from him in a one-on-one match where the Ula Fala is at stake and the definitive head of the table is at stake. Not when there are 4 other men on one side and 5 on the other." Punk appeared on this week's Monday Night Raw in the aftermath of Survivor Series. He was involved in a brawl with Seth Rollins and also crossed paths with his WarGames teammates, Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Rikishi returns to teach Solo Sikoa a lesson. WWE Survivor Series. WarGames 2024 saw Roman Reigns' OG Bloodline capture a massive win over Solo Sikoa's version of the Bloodline. The match concluded with Sikoa being dominated by the babyface team, ultimately leading to the original tribal chief pinning him and securing a big win for his crew. The shocking defeat may have hampered the momentum for the Bloodline, and Solo Sikoa getting pinned once again could anger the rumored real mastermind of the Bloodline saga, The Rock. Since Sikoa turned his back on Reigns, there has been chatter that the final boss may be the real face of the new Bloodline. Despite rumors about the Great One's comeback, he may not return before the year ends due to his busy schedule. However, he could send a WWE legend from the family on his behalf to punish Solo Sikoa for failing as a leader. The name in question is the real-life father of the Usos and Sikoa, Rikishi. The Hall of Famer could finally return after 4 years to the Stamford-based promotion and punish his son, firing him as the leader of the heel faction for not being able to handle Roman Reigns and his crew. Solo Sikoa has yet again faced a major setback after costing his team the WarGames match, as he was beaten by the OG Bloodline and was pinned by Roman Reigns. The original tribal chief could now issue a challenge to Sikoa for a singles match for the title of the tribal chief. The Triple H-led creative team could book a singles match between the cousins, with the Ula Fala on the line at WWE Saturday Night's main event at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Long Island, New York on December 14th. It will be interesting to see what the Stamford-based promotion has in store for the Bloodline saga in the near future. The Rock returns, but not alone. WWE Raw is set to move to Netflix on January 6th, 2025, and on its debut show, The Rock is rumored to make an earth-shattering appearance. The last time the final boss appeared in WWE was at Bad Blood 2024, where he confronted Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes after their tag match. Fans had also anticipated the Great One's return at Survivor Series, WarGames 2024 in the aftermath of the Bloodline Civil War, but that did not come to pass. As we approach Raw's Netflix debut, speculation is rife that The Rock may not show up alone. Instead, he could bring the 6'8" Hikuleo as his enforcer on the red brand. The People's Champion is expected to target either Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes upon his return. By aligning himself with Hikuleo, The Rock could command the towering star to decimate anyone he desires. Furthermore, the 33-year-old Hikuleo might also serve as a protective shield for the Hollywood star, guarding him from any imminent threats. This dynamic would be reminiscent of Jacob Fatu's role as the enforcer for Solo Sikoa in the New Bloodline. Introducing Hikuleo alongside The Rock would be a spectacular way to debut the NJPW's strong open-weight champion in WWE. Such an alliance would not only create buzz, but also increase interest in subsequent Raw episodes, ultimately attracting more viewers to the Netflix shows. For those unaware, Hikuleo has reportedly already signed with WWE, although he has yet to make his debut. It's been months since news of his signing broke, but Triple H may be waiting for the perfect moment to introduce him. It remains to be seen whether Raw's Netflix debut will serve as the stage for Hikuleo's long-awaited debut in the company. Whenever the People's Champion returns to the Stamford-based promotion, The Rock could make a major declaration by asserting himself as the true mastermind behind the New Bloodline. Solo Sikoa's faction recently suffered a significant loss to the OG Bloodline and CM Punk in the WarGames match, a result that The Rock is likely displeased with. Upon his next appearance, The Rock might declare himself as the true leader of the Bloodline, signaling that it was time for him to take matters into his own hands. Such a declaration could plant the seeds for a monumental showdown between Roman Reigns and The Rock in the near future.